iPhone 6 versus iPhone 7 coming up right now. Let's go. So, what is up, guys? This is Nick here from Everything Tech, helping to master your technology, and welcome to the iPhone 6 versus the iPhone 7. Now, what we're going to do in this video comparison is do a boot up test, a couple of speed tests, and talk about which device is right for you, or if you should update your iPhone 6 to an iPhone 7. You can make that choice yourself based on what you see in this video. But let's go ahead and begin with the boot up test of both devices in 3, 2, and let's go. So the Apple iPhone 6 is Apple's first redesigned larger iPhone, both coming in at 4.7 inches. The iPhone 7 is Apple's latest flagship smartphone, and it does have a 4.7 inch 1334 by 750 display. Both are slightly above 720p, and both have 326 pixels per inch. So the Apple A10 Fusion chip in the iPhone 7 proves to be a much quicker boot up time than the iPhone 6 here. So I do have the same applications lined up, but before we do that, I'm gonna head over into settings, and I'm gonna go into general and go to software update and show you that I am rocking out with the latest iOS 10.2.1 here. Now, if I go over to settings here on the iPhone 7 here, you can see general iOS 10.2.1 on both devices. So both are on the latest crop of software. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on airplane mode to make sure that there are no interruptions in this video. And let's go ahead and close everything out here, and let's begin the speed test. So let's go over here to the same applications, and let's see how quick both devices are in comparison to one another. So let's go into calendar on both devices in 3, 2, go. And you can see it was about the same. Let's come home here. 1 GB of RAM here, 2 GB of RAM here on the iPhone 7, quad core CPU, dual core CPU. Let's go into calculator. And I missed that one on the 6, so let me come back home and do that one more time. Let's go to, okay, what are you playing with me over there, 7? Let's go into calculator. And you can see the 7's slightly ahead. Let's come home here. 7 back to the home screen first. Let's go into camera. And wow, why did the iPhone 6 open camera first? I don't know, but the 7 went back home first. Let's go into clock. You can see about the same there. Let's come home here. And let's go into YouTube. And you can see the iPhone 7 should appear first, and it does, way ahead of the iPhone 6 there. So much quicker there on that third-party application. Let's go over here in Appy Geek or Pi Geek and see what happens here. iPhone 7 for the win, and then the iPhone 6. Now you have to decide, is that speed enough of a change for me to go ahead and update to the iPhone 7? Is that enough of a change, or should I just wait for the iPhone 8? Let's go into App Store here and see what happens here. So you can see once again the iPhone 7. And a lot of people say, well, that doesn't matter, but for some people it does. Say you're a businessman, say you run a business, say you are an artist or something, you need to get a quick picture. You need to do stuff quick. Them seconds add up throughout the day, and if that means that you're gonna save yourself, 5 minutes of your day based on the hundreds of taps that you tap these apps per day, that might make the iPhone 7 worth it. Let's go into weather on both devices. And you can see the iPhone 7 ahead there as well. Let's come home here. Let's go into settings here. And you can see iPhone 7 ahead there. Let's come home here and let's go into phone. On both devices, you can see iPhone 7 about the same, maybe a little bit faster than the 6. Let's go into Twitter. And you can see iPhone 7, and then the iPhone 6 was dragging. So let's go into voice memos. And you can see the iPhone 7 ahead again. Come home here. Let's go into Instagram on both devices. And you can see it looks like the iPhone 7 way ahead there of the iPhone 6. Let's go into Safari on both devices. And you can see about the same there. Let's go home here. Let's go into eBay on both devices. And you can see eBay is ahead of the iPhone 6, much ahead there on the 7. So the 7 does much better in terms of its, third-party applications. So applications that don't come with the iPhone itself. Let's go into Amazon. And you can see iPhone 7 ahead, way ahead there of the iPhone 6. Let's go into Lyrium Info. Check out Lyrium Info if you guys want to download an application that's going to give you plenty of statistics, stats, specs for all the geeky people out there. Go ahead and download Lyrium Info. Let's go to Apple Health here on both devices. You can see the iPhone 7 ahead there as well. Coming home, let's go into Temple Run on both. And you can see Temple Run is okay. So we had the low game center. So that was kind of not fair. Let's go ahead and try Jetpack Joyride here on both and see what happens here. So let's just not allow that. And the iPhone 7, even with that pop-up notification, wins on the gaming. So a much better gamer here for the iPhone 7. If you're a gamer, if gaming is all you care about, you definitely want to maybe upgrade to the 7. If you can wait for the 8, it's only going to be probably a 25 to 40% improvement in speed. So, you know, the iPhone 7 is a good update if you want to do gaming a lot. Let's go ahead and do multitasking. So here's where most iPhones shine. So going through the applications, you can see very quick on both. You can see that there's a little bit of a stutter there with the iPhone 6 where it's really nothing here on the 7. Very smooth, very fluid here. So going over here into the calendar, you can see holds the applications the same in the multitasking department. Let's go back home here and got to get that little click action right because this is not a physical button anymore. Let's go into health here on both devices. You can see bang. Let's go ahead and do this, and let's go over here into calculator, and about the same there. Let's go into Jetpack Joyride, see if either one has to reload that game. So about the same there in terms of that. There's a little bit of tweak action going over there on the iPhone 7. So what about the control center? Any lag there? No lag there. Let's do that again, no lag there. Coming down, same on the notifications tray. So a lot of you iPhone 6 users out there are probably happy with what you're seeing. Your performance is still pretty solid here on the iPhone 6. So overall, based on that speed test, the iPhone 7 is definitely the quicker device here of these two. Now, let's not just talk about speed. That's not the only factor when deciding if you should update to the iPhone 7 over the iPhone 6, or if you just should stay put and wait for the iPhone 8. So the iPhone 6 has an 8 megapixel camera here. So this camera is a little bit behind the iPhone 7, which is going to give you a 12 megapixel camera with a, quad LED flash or whatever they call that thing. True tone on both. So both have great cameras. The iPhone 6, you can't really tell it's 8 megapixel. It does pretty strong, even in, low light. It does pretty decent. It's not the best in the world, but I don't think many people will be able to tell the difference on just everyday posts between these cameras. Now, if you know what you're doing, you will be able to tell the difference between this and the 7. Now, another difference is they finally removed the antenna lines. So you don't really see the antenna lines anymore on the iPhone 7 versus in the iPhone 6 here. So if you love design, I think the iPhone 7 is going to give you the better design. In terms of their feel, the iPhone 7 might be slightly heavier than the iPhone 6, but overall, both are very, very light devices and they're very comfortable to hold. Both are nice and curvy, so classy little clean devices here. Now, you do have raise to wake here on the iPhone 7, as you can see right there, whereas you're not going to get that feature here on the 6. That's a software feature only for A9 and above devices. Now, this changes a lot here on these devices. You have a physical press here on your fingerprint scanner, and you do have the first generation of the Touch ID scanner. Here you have the second generation Touch ID scanner that does have a capacitive feel. It's no longer a physical press, so when you turn the iPhone 7 off, you literally cannot feel anything. It just feels like nothing's there. And they might be removing that home button in the future on the iPhone 8. But in terms of that front-facing camera, you do get a 1.2 megapixel camera here for the iPhone 6, whereas you get a 7 megapixel camera here on the front. So massive update in terms of you selfie lovers. So if you're a selfie lover, just go ahead and upgrade to the iPhone 7. You will be happy. The only reason why it's hard to recommend the 7 is because of the speculations, the rumors of the iPhone 8 becoming a drastic redesign over the 7. So if you're with a 6, it's really hard to say go ahead and upgrade. Now, if you have a contract plan where you can just go ahead and take your iPhone 6, upgrade for really no money at all, and you could just jump to the next one, like a jump plan or whatever, something like that, then go ahead and do it. It's going to be worth it. But if you're somebody who's paying out of pocket for this device, like full retail value, you're gonna want to skip this one, I think, and just wait for the 8. Now, there is water resistance on here, IP67, dust and water resistance, pretty nice stuff here. You get a 3.5 millimeter headset jack on the 6, whereas you don't on the 7. And yeah, overall, that's pretty much it. There's not much more to say. Higher storage capacities on the 7, a higher price point as well. So anyway, that's pretty much it. iPhone 6 versus iPhone 7. If it was my choice, I would recommend you guys to stay on the iPhone 6 and hop to the iPhone 8. But that's just my opinion, that's just my personal take. If you don't have an iPhone right now and you're thinking about getting an iPhone, don't buy an iPhone 6, just go right to the 7. And that's pretty much it for me. What is your take? Comment that down below. Let's chat about that in the comment section of this video. This was Nick here, helping to master your technology. Be sure to be well. I will catch you all in the next one, and peace.